Hello and welcome back to Big House, where today I'm going to be showing you how to drill your porcelain walls or tiles like a pro. So what we've got is a 10mm porcelain tile fixed to the wall with standard tile adhesive, and the problem I'm sure if anyone's tried to drill a porcelain tile is how the hell you're going to drill through it. It can be an absolute nightmare. So going back sort of like 10-12 years ago, maybe a bit longer, I remember the typical sort of tile we were using, tile drill, was this was the sort of only thing you could find. Now these are a no-no. If you've got one of these in your set, do not attempt to drill your porcelain tile with it, because all that will happen is it'll probably chip the tile and more than likely snap the tip in the hole, making a right mess of it for you. So basically we've got really just two options available to us, and until fairly recently I would always have used one of these diamond encrusted tipped drill bits, and the way they work, if I can just zoom that, I don't know if it'll focus or not, but there we are, it's got like a wax insert in it, and as the tip heats up, the wax melts slowly down the centre of the drill bit, and that in turn sort of keeps the diamonds clean and allows it to continue cutting. But more recently what I've started using is an attachment to go on your angle grinder. So the first thing I've had to do when you do this, I removed the nut, the cutting disc, and there'll also be a back plate. So take all that lot off. Then what you need is one of these cutting drill bits, I suppose, diamond cutting. They're an M14, I was just checking. M14 thread for angle grinder fitment. Now I've picked these up from Tops Tiles. I don't think they're selling them in places like Screwfix and stuff yet, so it's still a little bit specialist. And essentially, again, you've got a big sort of well of wax down in the middle. Exactly the same type drill bit where it's coming down the centre of the drill to keep the tip cool and clean. Obviously you screw this then onto your grinder, exactly the same as you would do the nut up. So that's what I've done by here. And what these allow you to do is it allows you to cut at a much higher speed, making it a lot easier than your traditional drill bit. So even with one of these style, you'll find you've got to put a lot of weight into it, and it still just doesn't get fast enough on the RPM to really get through the tile. So let's give it a go, see how we get on. So I've marked out the holes ready, so I know where they're going to go. I'm basically hanging another cabinet alongside this one. I'm also going to be using my Bluetooth controlled Festool CTL MIDI 1, which I've had for a couple of years now. Superb tool. For this exact reason, that I can hold the tool here, the hoover here, when I go to drill, turn it on and off without having to leave the hoover running behind me all the time. So that's that. Let's get going with this grinder. Turn the hoover on. So it's always the same. I've drilled about 5 so far today, no problem. Come to drill it on the video, and now it's overheating. I can see that the wax had dried out of the tip, and now it's working its way down again. So anyway, I'm going to swap the tips over and leave this one to cool down. In fact, just as a comparison, I'm just going to try the one on the drill. That one don't want to know either. We got a tippy hard tile. Right, so I've swapped the cutter over. You can see the wax is just starting to come at the end of that one now. In some respects, I'm glad this has just happened, because certainly from like a trade point of view, you give somebody a price now for a job and you say, what tiles are we using? Oh, they're just using normal ceramic tiles. And they turn it with porcelain tiles, and like in this case, now I have discussed this with the customer, but you know, they suddenly want all these cabinets and mirrors and things fit in, right? From a pricing point of view, and some people don't understand this, and it's a time constraint as well for a tradesperson, is that now already these cutters, I'm buying these at about, I think they're £14-15 each, right? And I've drilled 5 holes with one, and it seems like it's just burned out. It's good for nothing now. So I'm on to a second one. It does add a considerable cost into a job, so when a customer says, oh, I've just chosen these tiles, it's really quite important beforehand to try and sort of impress on them the difference in tiles, you know. Porcelain in particular, it's always been hard, obviously. I don't understand what the fascination is with it, because once a wall's tiled, it's tiled. They don't tend to deteriorate if it's porcelain or if it's a ceramic tile. But for whatever reason, porcelain's getting pushed at the moment. Whether it's maybe cheaper to manufacture, that's why I just don't know. I know it costs more, but it's an absolute nightmare to work with. So it's frustrating. This job has been frustrating. It's been cuts, and more cuts. But we're drilling it now, so let's give it one more go. I don't want to bore you with this, but on about cutters. There we are, and that one's gone straight through. So we'll try it again. That one's through. Try it again. I've knocked the hoover on the head, it's easier. That one's through. And that one's through. So when the cutters are working, they're working well. I think the problem is it cools down. I don't know if something happens to it then, but you can see the tip is all going black. Whether that's relevant, I don't know, but I bet it'll be a nightmare now when I come to reuse it. Anyway, that's those four cut or drilled. That one has created a bit of a mark around it, but that will clean up. So I'll have a quick clean up and then we'll check the holes are working. So, something else you should never be too far from home with is big wipes, I think. Brilliant things. So I've just got my big wipes now, give everything a wipe down. Now there is one other thing to consider when using these drill bits, is that more often than not, you're going to have some sort of masonry behind. The diamond will pop straight through the tile, and then the tile cement behind it. Is not too fussed on drilling brickwork and stuff. Now I know we've got brick in here as opposed to a plasterboard wall or something. So I always then put a 6mm masonry drill bit through behind to make sure you've got room for your plug to go into the hole and subsequently a screw in the plug. So I'll just drill those, make sure the hole is finished. Big wipes again, give it all a clean off, and that should get us ready then for plugs. So that is how you drill a porcelain tile, just about. If you're interested to know, or maybe to avoid, these are DEX drill bits, DEX. I bought that from Topps Tiles. I was in the other day and I noticed they now had them, but I'm not saying that's the right one to use. So yeah, so that's that. You get them in a variety of sizes, and when you get up to a certain size then it'll be more like a core bit. So you've got a circular ring of encrusted diamonds rather than a solid drill. So if you are going to embark on drilling your porcelain tiles, give one of those a go. Something else to note, I did take the guard off the angle grinder. I don't see a problem in doing that because it's no different really to a drill then. You haven't got a disc spinning around, and it also stops it from fouling the tile as you're drilling the wall. So anyway, so that's that from me. I'm going to crack on and get these cabinets on. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and feel free to comment if you would like to, and hopefully I'll speak to you all very soon. Ciao for now.